Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem, in the name of his only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, we want to give a double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone, which are our teachers that rule well, that taught us this truth. And much love, greetings, and salutations to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect, all the brethren throughout the four winds of the earth, are pushing this gospel of sincerity and truth, are lifting up this banner upon the high mountain, all right, prophesying against the downfall of this wicked-ass empire, or the empire of you so-called white people, which you're known as the Red Hebrew Edomites.
That's right.
The Bible speaks of. That's your real nationality, okay? Because of the truth coming out about you, now you want to hide up under fake love. Yeah. You want to seek for love now. All right? Because we've been preaching about your hatred that you showed against our people. And it seems like the new John 3:16 is a thou shalt abhor an Edomite.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's the new thing now.
Well, at least I
don't know if the elites came down and had a little council about this and started teaching these little pastors and these little evangelists and just use that scripture. Go to Deuteronomy 23:7. I bet you can stop them.
Hold on. The problem with that is this. You just admitted you're an Edomite.
Yeah,
you admitted that the Edomites are still on earth and that you're one of them.
Exactly.
That's the problem with it.
Y'all know that y'all said y'all suffer. Yeah. So now you acknowledge that the Edomites exist now?
Yeah.
And now that you acknowledge it, now all of a sudden we ain't supposed to abhor you?
Right.
But what about all the other prophecies that prophesy against you?
God, that pertain to Esau.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Isaiah 57:21. There is no peace, says my God, to the wicked.
Hey, that's on top. That's on top, man. There ain't no peace unto you. All right, because you was never peaceful with us. If we go through every major captivity recorded in our biblical history, you was always
hanging around.
You was always you was the one that forwarded our affliction. Every time. As soon as we came out of the wilderness, or it's like while we were in the wilderness, you was one of the first nations that we have to have again. The Exodus 17th chapter. And then the Lord even told him that we shall have war with Amalek forever. So that means that if there's going to be war between two conflicting nationalities, then that means that there was never going to be peace between them to begin with. There was never going to be peace. And the Lord created that from the beginning. And he said he was going to put enmity between thy seed and woman. Okay?
Because who was he talking to? He said they talked to the serpent. Which was a man upon the earth, not a damn snake for real. It was a man with a snake-like spirit that became, it was a dark-skinned man originally that became the Edomites. He went into Cain, the spirit went into Cain, being wicked, and moved on to Esau. That became the forefather of the people. Alright? And that enmity was there, and that hatred was always there. Because if you lie to somebody, that proves you hate them. If you lie to them and tell them something is true when it's not, or vice versa, you don't love that person. Right? You're not looking out for their best interest.
What about all the scriptures that go against you?
Exactly.
You can't just wait just one scripture against all the other scriptures. That's unbalanced. It has to be something deeper. And the answer is going into the words. And you see that word Edom, Deuteronomy 23:7, that word is serious. And it says a clerical error. Alright? So you just can't, you gotta go deep. You can't read the Bible in English and take about it. You gotta go into the Hebrew to read it. You gotta go deep into the word.
Hey, that's why this book is a mystery. And the mystery has to be revealed unto you.
Right.
Okay? The mystery has to be revealed unto you so you can see in plain sight exactly what it is, what you have the understanding. Esau is a major mystery in the Bible, who he is today, but in his own history has witnessed against him, and we're clearly the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native, sorry, man, Negro, Latino, and Native Americans. We're the ones that are Israelites. They didn't refuse to place in our Holy Spirit. Okay? That was a mystery unto you. And that God doesn't love everybody. That was another mystery or falsehood told by the church.
That's what they're trying to use with John 3:16.
Yep.
That God loves everyone, but they don't take into account all the rest of the scriptures throughout the whole Bible.
Well, no to them right there.
Most High hates.
Where's that in 1 Corinthians 14? Where the Lord is not the author of confusion. You can't read John 3:16, and then there's other scriptures in the Bible that says, love the good and hate the evil.
Right.
You can't read John 3:16 and then it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Right.
You can't read John 3:16 and there's a scripture that says, but I hated Esau. Now lay his heritage waste.
Yep.
That was
You can't read the book of Obadiah and think that's not to understand. The book of Obadiah is the nail in the coffin. It's the one that's straight up proves to you that once the Edomites are gone off the planet, eradicated off the planet, then we'll move into that time in the future in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And then we're not in that time if there's Edomites walking around. You just clearly admitted that there's Edomites walking around. You said that should not have already come out.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace in all churches of the saints. Who are the saints? Psalms 148. Yeah, the saints are Israelites. Right? You don't, these Edomites, they don't go into these scriptures. They just read it for face value. You got to go deep into these scriptures, like the brother was just saying. It's a mystery. This mystery wasn't given to everyone. It wasn't given to all nations. Right? And when you read all nations in the New Testament, the word ethnos means a tribe, a specific nation of people. That's why we go into these words. So
How can you be specific when you're supposed to be talking about everybody? It don't work that way. You got to generalize to talk about everybody, but the scripture is specific who this book is for. Okay?
And then we get this word for confusion.
Yeah, that's a good word.
It's akatastasia. That's the Greek word. And it means instability, a state of disorder.
Yep.
Okay?
Hey, disorder, these scriptures line up in order.
Yeah.
It's just like I always bring this analogy out, like a math equation, like algebra, literally like algebra. If you don't have the equations in the right place, you're not going to get the proper quotient, the quotient or sum of the problem, right? If things are out of order. That's why everything lines up. And when it has being an Assyrian or Assyrian, and they're being Syrian in Deuteronomy 23rd chapter, it lines up with the whole rest of the scriptures, as well as Esau being the wicked and being hated by the Most High God. First off, they try to say, God don't hate. God is all love. No.
I had that.
Prove that God hates for certain situations, certain things, certain people.
Hold on, don't the scripture say that the Lord hates all manner of abomination?
That's what I'm saying.
Psalms 5.
We brought out
That's
too
why
many
he
scriptures,
destroyed.
but
That's why he destroyed Egypt and Gomorrah, because he hated what they were doing.
Right.
So he destroyed them because what you do, your practices and your wicked works, it wouldn't be done if it wasn't you putting it to practice.
Con.
So basically, you and that sin that you commit, the Lord looks at that act and you as one of the same.
Con, bro.
So as long as you commit adultery, the Lord hates you. As long as you commit homosexuality, the Lord hates you. That's biblical. And it showed every time there was major wickedness being done, the Lord would show his hatred through judgment. All right? It would be through judgment. Okay?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
And Esau, he's the top ungodly man. He's the most ungodly man. He's the man of sin that's being revealed in these last times. He goes against literally every single scripture that you can think of. Literally every scripture, every law in the Bible, Esau totally breaks.
Right. Proving his spirit is contrary to righteousness.
So what? So what does that mean? The Lord hates him.
Con.
The Lord hates him, man. The scripture said so. And you same devils want to have the nerve to act like there shouldn't be any hatred. You should be the last ones that's coming from. You should be the last people that's coming from. All right? You should be the last people speaking about hatred when all you do is show hatred through your actions. All right? Go ahead, huh?
And keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Why? Because he knows how to preserve the ungodly to the day of punishment.
Right.
All right? And that's why you devils, all right, when the Lord comes back, you devils going to still be on top. Okay? He's coming back to dethrone you. He's coming back to wage war against you, man. Whoever's sitting on the throne, that's who I'm coming back to wage war against. And you happen to be you damn devils, man.
And anybody else on any lesser throne is coming for you too.
That's why he says he's going to have many crowns on his head. Because he's taking all the crowns, mainly of you elite, Edomite elite bankers, all right, and the rest of these heathen nations.
Look, then you got Donald Trump wanting the educational system in America to read the Old Testament and the New Testament, you know, and try to bring that education back or whatever.
Yeah.
He signed his own death note.
That's the spirit.
You ain't gonna follow laws that's in this Bible, man.
No.
You know, you're not meant to do righteousness, man. You Edomites, man. All right. Let me get verse 7. Give unto the good and help not the sinner.
I got a quick one. Psalm 5 and 5. It says, the foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. That's straightforward and plain. He hates workers of iniquity. What is iniquity? Sin upon sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law. Like the brother said, you Edomites are not going to keep this law. Old Testament. No, say what you said.
I mean, it's a whole lot of hate scriptures coming out. One time people just go to Bootlegger and type in hate, man. You bring up
all day.
All the scriptures on hate, man. And you should shut the fuck up, man.
Right.
But that lets you know, all you gotta do is read the Bible. All you gotta do is read the scriptures and you can be considered a hater. Just to read the Bible. Because of what the Bible teaches.
For reading it.
And that just goes to show you the hypocrisy of this society.
Right.
Don't try to put up this book and then be a hypocrite and say, oh, but you're being a hater. You're speaking hate speech. But we're speaking the words of God. Would you agree that these are the words of who you call God? Don't be a hypocrite, man.
Right.
They don't say that to the pulpit, pork chop eating pastors. We're reading out the same book.
That's because he don't go into the scriptures.
Right.
He go into the select few scriptures that his slave master taught him in the seminary. Or he got that what's that Johnson Amendment muscle.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a beat. Not to bring up the full words,
And the cold part is when you take the part that they don't want you talking about, that's the book. That's the whole book.
Yeah. That's the spirit.
Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding.
And that's the way you understand this book. That's by putting precept upon precept. All right, there's different scriptures that you can link up. Going back to like when the Lord said he's not the author of confusion. Well, when you put precept upon precept, there is no confusion.
Right.
You get understanding. Okay? Nothing contradicts if you get the full context of understanding.
Meet off the bone.
All right? So that's how you'll know that the Lord is not one-sided. He doesn't tell you, oh, you're supposed to just love only.
Yeah.
If you go into the precepts, it tells you when to love and when to hate.
And there's a time
that's
for both.
Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time and place for everything. All right?
Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
Yeah, we hate every false way, man. Okay?
Things don't line up. That's a false way. Hey, if you think about it, if you're walking down a road in the forest farm, you're trying to choose which way to go. You choose a way, and it leads you to a pit or a dead end or something. That's a false way. That's what the scriptures, out of the right context, will lead you to. That God loves everybody. You should not abhor Edomites.
It's like the saying, tell a lie, you got to tell another lie to cover it up. So you go down that road of John 3:16, then you got to cover it up with other lies. And that brings nothing but confusion. More confusion.
I mean, you would not have been able to go John 3:16 to King David.
Kind.
You wouldn't have been able to do it. Right? Because first of all, King David, he was a man after the Most High's heart. And even though he loved the Most High.
He had his shortcomings like every other man, but he had a shot.
But there were things that you would consider hateful that he did.
Yeah.
Was he in transgression? Let's get some accounts on King David and what he had to do in order for him to get the throne.
Now, can I read this real quick at Isaiah 28 to show what we're doing right here? Isaiah 28, and I'm going to start up at verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, because the thing about it, when these scriptures is written, not every prophet had the full prophecy. They had a chunk. So when it was being jotted down, the chunk they had would line up with another prophet chunk, with another ancient prophet chunk, and then finally they would all get the full understanding when the time was revealed. And how it shot to piece it all together. Okay? So now in these days, we get to see the full scope of all the prophecies and putting the chunks together where they make sense now. Right? It says, line upon line, here a little and there a little. With standing lips in another tongue, he will speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest where he may cause the weary to rest when you get that full understanding. Because a lot of you that think you can pick this book up and your pastor will teach you, or you'll have your own understanding and God will come and bless you with it. You wrestle trying to get the understanding out of this. We're in full rest mode on the understanding of this Bible. We understand what all the pieces mean and the big picture of it all. Okay? That's when you can be at peace with yourself with the understanding of it. Okay? When you can see the big picture. It says, and this is the refreshing, but yet they would not hear. But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken, snared, and taken. So the same way that we put it together to get the understanding, the same way that it leads y'all to dead ends. Okay? But you need that interpreter or that teacher or that seer to break it down for you. And that's what we do.
And ultimately, you need the spirit, the inspiration.
Right.
That's the energy, the spirit that gives us this understanding.
Right.
Okay? But you also need men that have the Holy Spirit to interpret it for you.
Got it.
All right? But hey, this is only going to be plain unto the holy. But this will be a stumbling block to the wicked. You can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. You don't have the blueprint. The Lord didn't give that to you. You're not going to be able to put it together to see the bigger picture. That's it. Okay? Hey, wisdom will not dwell in the malicious soul.
Kind.
Okay? But anyway, let's get one of King David. Somebody give me Psalms 60 and also Psalms Psalm 18:40. We're going to read about King David and his hatred.
Psalm 60.
And I would hope that if they decided to put the Bible in the educational system in schools, have them read the whole book. Read all Genesis, read all the Psalms, and look how bloody it gets at times.
Hey, that's the same reason a lot of people don't like the Old Testament. Because of how bloody and brutal, straightforward, austere, and honest the Old Testament is.
Yeah, but these people watch
Right. Walking Dead has more murder and crime, and Game of Thrones. There's been so much of that. Yeah. And you can watch that and won't miss an episode for 1 week. Sit there and be on the blog all week hypothesize about next week, but then when the scriptures come in, the scriptures are true. When it comes to this, that's a fairy tale, that's a fable book. But when the things that are said in this book are actually happening, or you despise it because of the gore that's written in it, the more the lamentations, the more that's written in it.
These things that took place go along with secular history. These things match up with history. All right? It's just the history book of Israelites. It's all our perspective.
Yeah. That's right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Psalm 60, verse 8. Moab is my watchtower. Over Edom, I will cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph now because of me.
Read that again.
Moab is my watchman. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe.
Would you consider that racist? Would that be is that a hateful thing to sing about? Especially understanding what King David had to do to get all the nations subdued under his feet. If you go into the history, there's a reason why King David he wasn't allowed to do the too much blood on his hands.
Bro.
So you would call him a hateful murderer and a racist. King David.
Look at all the bloodshed King David had to do just to get peace.
Yeah.
For 40 years. That's all, you know? So imagine the bloodshed that Yahweh Shai is going to have to bring to this place for us to get peace for eternity.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. We had peace 30 years.
For 30 years?
No,
40.
King David, 40. It took him 30 years to do it.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. And it reads, think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Yes. He gotta bring a sword. He gotta bring that division. He gotta subdue all the other nations around us just so they don't raise up with their wickedness. Just so they stay in subjection and stay under rule, under righteousness. That's what it takes. That's why under King David and King Solomon, we lived so wonderfully there. We was on the proper perspective, but now we're going to be on such a higher level under Yahweh Shai and King David. That's why King David still gets his position back, because he did the right things.
Because ultimately King David did foreshadow what Yahweh Shai is coming back to do.
Right.
He went and slaughtered all those nations, and we got 40 years of peace from that. Yahweh Shai will come back and wage war against the nations, and we're going to get everlasting peace. Right. Now, when you look up what Brother Abraham over Edom, like that's my shoe. That's an actual argument. That's insane. When it represents it says there was customary abundantly to deliver a shoe, hence casting down a shoe upon any country was a symbol of taking possession. Upon Edom will I cast down my shoe, i.e., I will take possession of it. I will claim it as my own. So that was basically like a prophecy. Because what's going to happen when we get this devil in slavery, and after 1,000 years after we did what we had to do with his ass, and get rid of him. Now land is going to be given to Judah. Right. The land of Judah is going to be extended. Right. Okay. It's going to be no more Edomites. They ain't going to be able to occupy that land. Okay. So hey, what King David said, that he prophesied that, man. Yeah. Now, would you consider that hateful? Hey, but I thought the scripture said, "Thou shalt abhor an Edomite." Why is King David saying that? Why would King David say he's going to cast his shoe over Edom?
They're like King David, no Deuteronomy 23.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's the same man that said, "I will meditate in thy law."
Yeah. Yeah.
He says he meditate day and night in the law. Was that Psalm the second chapter where he says that? Okay. I'm pretty sure you devils don't know more scriptures than King David.
Fine.
Okay. Get Psalm 40. Start at verse 40. Oh, matter of fact, select. You still in Psalm 60? Read that next verse.
Psalm 60. I'm going to start at 8 again and keep going. Verse 8.
Just read the next verse and after that's not there.
Start at 8, bro.
Moab is my watchman. Over Edom I will cast up my shoe. Philistia, triumph now because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom?
Now, why is he saying that? Why is he asking who will lead me into Edom? Because basically he's asking for the Father to be with him when he goes into Mount Seir and start lobbing heads off.
Come, bro.
That's what that's
Hey,
talking
come.
about.
They forgot all the acts of the mighty man, King David and the mighty man, where it say 1,000 at thy right hand, and on the left hand side 2,000.
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. Look at that. Hey, what?
This mighty man, one man was slaying 1,000 men.
Easy.
Yeah, they was killing whole cities, infants, women, men, and cattle. All through the spirit of Yahweh Shai. The Lord gave King David those direct orders.
Con.
Taking, raping the women, and making them concubines.
Con.
Yep. Putting them to shame.
That's right, man. Somebody get you got
I got Psalms 18 and 40. The Psalms 18 and 40. Thou hast also given me the nets of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried.
Hey, Scott, when you had a neck of somebody, you have them in complete control where you can take their life. You are in complete control of somebody. That's the most weakest point of somebody.
They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt. Then I beat them small as the dust before the wind. That's like you picking up some dust and you cast it and it's nothing. It's going to blow away. It's tossed around.
Hey, and are we gonna get that power back?
Con.
You damn right we are.
Hey, don't the scriptures say we shall rule over them with the rod of iron? Come on now.
I will give you like the heathen for an inheritance.
David was all about possessing you heathen.
Con.
Because he understood that was the big picture that Yahweh wanted for us. Like that goes right into we bring it up, second Ezra, the 6th chapter, at the end of that chapter. The whole thing was said, if the world now be made for our sakes,
Why don't we have an inheritance with the world?
Yeah, the world. But the real inheritance of the world is the world itself and all the other people that are not Israelites within it. That's the real blessing that the Most High God Yahweh will have for us when he set this whole thing up through Yahweh Shai.
Exactly. See, that's why I love you Jakes now, because you've been enslaved for so long. None of you niggas will be able to be like King David and his army, the tabernacle of David. That's why you couldn't be a part of that, man. Because King David had a warrior and a rulership mentality.
Right. Niggas is too emotional, man.
Niggas are way too emotional. You wouldn't believe in putting a finger up. Some of you niggas, you don't even believe in touching the Edomite.
Yeah.
You know?
They got order either.
Yeah.
These niggas will let Edomite, like I think you alluded to yesterday, they'll let the nigga go to their hood.
Yeah, con.
They ready to chop his damn head off. Edomite walk right through your neighborhood. You say, oh, here you go, sir. You
And they pull over, hey, you guys got directions? Let Jake come through there. You carjacking Jake. But you let
making them strip and all that shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Jake ain't all.
But the Lord is gonna put his spirit back on his men, his elect, to put hands on you Edomites when the Lord give us those powers back.
Right.
Yeah, let's go back.
Verse 42. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the striving of the people, and thou hast made them the head of the heathen. Has made me the head of the heathen.
You became the head of the heathen. Okay? That means what? I'll become Lord. I'll become Lord over the heathen. You know how Yahweh is our Lord, so he's our head, and we're our wives, we're their lords, so we're their heads. And we're gonna be masters and lords over the nations.
That's right.
Just like King David, when he was on the throne, he was Lord, man. Hey, kings are lords, man. Okay, masters.
Like Sarah called Abraham Lord.
Because he had position to rule over. I want to give a quick analogy about your modern day masters over you, Jakes, right now. Your boss. Your boss has complete rule over you. He is your lord or your master over you right now. If you don't believe it, let that man let you do something he don't like and he fire you, right? He fire you, then guess what? You lose your house, you go on the street, you catch pneumonia, you die.
He has to control over your livelihood.
Yeah.
You know, how you live.
And thou hast made me head of the heathen, a people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of
About the heathen. Go ahead.
As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers should submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their close places.
Right? And strangers talking about other nations, not the Israelite not living in the land. Okay, that's what's brought out.
Right. The devil try to, they try to push in the scriptures. They don't go into the Hebrew, which is that's what you're supposed to differentiate between different words. Right? You have stranger and in the Israelite foreigner sense of the word. You also have the Hebrew sense of the word, which is the Hebrew word is a nakar. You have nakar, then you have the Hebrew word gar, which goes back to Gershon, son of Moses. Okay? Those strangers is talking about the heathen, the nakar, man. Okay? But what did King David literally have to do for this to happen? He had to do some hateful acts. He had to do a lot of killing, man. Okay? If somebody can get that in First Kings 11, somebody can also get 2 Samuel 8.
I got a quick one.
2 Samuel 8 and 14.
I got a quick one. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 13. It says, and David said unto his men, gird you on every man his sword. And they girded every man his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And there went up David about 400 men and 200 abode by the stuff. So my point being, they all got girded up for war. They was getting their swords ready. They're not getting their swords to go have a talk. They're going to war. They're going to war. And don't it say the Most High is a man of war?
Yeah.
Exodus
How was his name?
Yeah.
And David did a lot of war. Why do you think they shared the same mind state? Okay? Most High said he's a man after his own heart. Same mind state. Hey, I gotta put everybody in subjection.
And the only time we're going to have real peace is when the nations are subdued, man.
Right.
We'll never have peace as long as our enemies are on top, especially Esau. He knew that he had to put Esau down and the other nations for there to be world peace, man. All right, so what did I call for?
We said First Kings 11.
First Kings 11 and 14.
1 Kings 11, verse 14.
Because remember, he was, when he was prophesying, he was singing, he said, who will lead me into Edom?
Yeah.
So he was making that prayer before he went down into it. Let's see what King David did when he went to Edom.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 14. And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon. Hadad, the Edomite, he was the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain after he had smitten every male in Edom.
He smitten every male in Edom.
Yeah.
King David and the captain of his army.
Yeah.
Okay? They sent them devils just running, man. Okay? And you better believe it was gruesome. Just watch those old war movies, man. Bloodshed, blood squirting, heads rolling.
Yeah. Like Braveheart.
Like Braveheart, like Gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay? them old battle war movies.
Germanians. Gladiator.
Yeah, man.
300.
You better believe it was real. Okay. If they made this into a movie, y'all be like, that King David.
One thing making this into a movie, what I was gonna say was the difference is everybody in the world, the way the world is set up now, everybody's crucified in this world right now.
Yeah, everyone's
Back then, there was
sensitive.
hard men. War, killing was easy. You see it in the favorite show we just talked about. The Walking Dead, they killed in The Walking Dead. Remember the beginning of Walking Dead, they were trying to figure out if they were alive or dead. Well, you go to a show like Game of Thrones, these people are alive. But they would kill them just the same, indiscriminately. Depending on the situation.
And they would take them spoil. On that show, they take spoils of women. If the king wanted your throne siege, and they would go and wage war against your family, the children and the wives or the daughters, they would get snatched up. That was what you call spoils of war. And the women, they actually had to pace themselves for if something like that was to happen. If they husband was about to go to war and they loses, and they come and they basically stick they flag in the ground, they gotta basically deal with the fact that they, you know, hey, we're taking, we're their company.
And you see that happening today. I've never seen so many Edomite women hopping on Jake.
But we ain't even have that war yet.
That's what I'm saying. But they see the power shift.
It ain't even happened yet, and they already started to shift and try to come with us. We ain't even in our power yet. So how much more will we do get that glory, man? Call Lord Yahweh. It's a lot. And what was King David doing when he was killing all the males? Because notice it only said he was slaying all the males. So what was he doing with the women and the children? Do we need to go into the law on that?
Right.
It's that Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, the 21st chapter. He was keeping the laws, man.
Shave their head.
Yep.
All right.
Water their nails.
Wait for 30 days.
His favorite scent, fragrances.
You looking for it?
Yeah, I'm good.
Go ahead.
For 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel until he cut off every male in Edom.
Wait, so it was for 6 months. For a period of 6, you waged a war against the town for 6 months. Just killing off the men. And then some of them, you know, they had refugees that escaped. And when you go into the history, a lot of them were running down to Egypt.
I'm glad you said that because they'll say, well, it says he killed everyone in Edom, so the Edomites were done away with it.
Edomite tried to use that before. I'm like, no.
They ain't never lived nowhere else.
Yeah, right. Because how you get the Idumeans, you read the Maccabees.
Well, that's for this.
What about the Herodians? Those are all Edomites. So you can't use that, right? No, what it was they were slaying a lot of Edomites, and the ones that were remaining that survived, they ran down into Egypt and fled into other territories. Okay. Then they had to preserve themselves. They had to procreate to keep that line going. And then eventually, after Solomon passed and the kingdom got split, that was when Edom started to revolt against Judah. We read that in 2 Kings, I believe, like the 8th chapter, man. Okay? Is that it?
Y'all read the 17. They had fled.
Matter of fact, it's already there.
That Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him to go into Egypt.
Into Egypt, that's where they fled. You notice how Egypt, to everybody in the Levant, in the Middle East, Egypt was basically like a place of refuge. You know, you seek asylum. It was always right there in Egypt.
You know why? Because that army was built up after that flood. They just washed it out. But I mean, it was just kind of spiritual how that happened.
Hadad, being yet a little child, And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran, and they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him a house and appointed him victuals and gave him land.
So the Egyptian was even given double, all type of, diplomacy.
And that shows you.
Gave him a home, gave him,
Yeah, that shows you how all these nations were confederate against Jake.
It was always cordial with each other, but when it came to Jake, it was not like that. They all knew that we were the enemy.
Right. And because the big picture was to subdue all the other nations. And we were the one nation that could do it. Edom almost got there. But we were for sure the one nation that could subdue the whole earth through the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua.
That was what was the other scripture?
Deuteronomy 20.
Yeah.
You wanted see the exact point.
Somebody get that in
Oh, okay, yeah.
Con.
Yeah.
8.
Let me read it. Deuteronomy?
Yes.
Deuteronomy 20, I'm going to start up at 13. Said, and when the Lord Yahweh thy power hath delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city,
So all that pertains to their house are their cattle, their children, everything that comes with their inheritance.
house is a larger set of house, not one place that you live, but the house of what their land is.
The land, the substance.
He said, all that is in the city, even the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, when the Lord thy power hath given thee. He said, thus shalt thou do unto all the cities that are very far off from thee, which are not the cities of these nations. And that was funny because Yahweh Shai is going to fulfill that law. He's going to go and subdue all the nations, 100%. It says, but the cities of these people, which the Lord thy power do give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Nothing that breatheth. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, and the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, as the Lord Yahweh thy power hath commanded thee.
Okay, so that was pertaining at that time.
Yeah.
When we was getting ready to go and inherit our land.
Yep.
That was what we were supposed to do.
Clean that land out.
In the land of Canaan.
Yep.
Okay.
We don't want nobody to come back and say we used to live here, this is ours.
Yeah.
Can't come back and be like, no, I used to live right over there. Nope. Everybody gone. Everything breathing.
So basically, when King David went into Mount Seir, what do you think he did? He took those women, all right, and the children for servants, all right, for handmaids. I gotta read it. Man servants, maid servants, all right. And you can come your maid servants. They can be your concubines.
If they're yours, yes. If they're your wife's, she has to give them to you.
Exactly.
I want to read a little more, just a couple more verses. It says, that they teach you not to do after their abominations. That's why you get them all out that land. Right? It says, which they have done unto their gods, should ye sin against the Lord your power. Hey, that's what happened to us all the times, really. We leave some alive, and then all of a sudden they would teach us one thing. And the moment one got taught something, it would spread like wildfire. Before you know it, our whole nation was sinning against Yahweh, weakening our people. All right?
That's the same thing Esau did to this day.
Yep.
By how they say that they slayed the man.
Yep.
That's what Esau's doing to us, taking the man out of the home, so we can give the woman the philosophies to give to the children, man. And it destroys the house.
Verse 9, it's like verse 19 says, when thou shalt besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing the axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. But basically, I was just saying, like, we did it the righteous way, though. We didn't just burn it all out and kill everything in there, like, you know,
Like Esau.
we just killed the people. We just killed the people out of it.
Yeah, we went into war. We didn't turn with a city. We didn't turn it into no damn wilderness.
Nah, when we want to keep a city, we want to food to that city. We don't want to. If y'all got some beautiful peach trees, we want them peach trees.
Unless the Lord said, unless the Lord said destroy, like he told King Saul.
Yeah, he told us to
Destroy them and cattle.
And the cattle, yeah.
Esau, he'll just drop a whole bomb.
yeah,
I would just destroy the whole land.
wipe it all out.
Make sure that it grows again. Fill it up with all type of he'll just destroy a city. He won't even consider. If you're going to take it, you want the resources, they want you to do it the right way. It shows you he don't even follow this book. When he tried to use this book in the beginning to put us in slavery. He probably used these strange scriptures, these laws that we're bringing up to justify coming in.
It just feels right.
But he didn't do it right. He didn't even do it right, man.
Feels like he would do that. That's the vibration and the connection that we have with this book and the words of this book. We bow down and took it. Like, damn, they have to beat the shit out of us if we read the scripture, and I feel that scripture. Now realizing it was meant on the other side once it comes into our power, like Birth of the Nation we brought up. Y'all got it.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 8 in verse 1. And after this came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Methar-gamah out of the hand of the Philistines, and he smote Moab and measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured he to put to death. And with 1 full line he kept alive. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts.
That sounds familiar.
Gifts. That means that once he basically subdued them, they have to give up,
David also had Hadazer
in this hatred.
Smoke all of you. Striking them down.
I mean, so if we say that we, through the Spirit, according to the Bible, that we're going to do this to you, I mean, are you going to say the same thing about King David? That he's a hateful man? And that these people that did that, they were hateful people?
King David, start on the war. They're going to say King David needs to apologize for destroying those Philistines and those Canaanites and all these other nations. The Moabites.
Verse 3. David smote also Hadadezer, the son of Rahab, king of Zobah, as he went to recover his border at the river Euphrates. And David took from him 1,000 chariots, 700 horsemen, 20,000 footmen, and David hawked all the chariot horses, but reserved to them for 100 chariots. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadadezer, king of Zobah, David slew of them Syrians 220,000 men. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought gifts.
So everywhere he was going, he would set garrisons up.
Yeah.
Once he defeated them, that's like, just like the brother said, that's like setting up your embassy.
Yeah.
And it gets guarded by
Warriors, they got troops over there.
troops. Okay? That means that he has total jurisdiction, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And the Lord preserved David wheresoever he went. And David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem.
Give me that. Give me that. All right, it's mine now. All right, go ahead.
And from Betah and from Berothai, cities of Hadadazar, King David, took exceeding much brass. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the hosts of Hadadazar, then Toi sent Joram his son unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he fought against Hadadazar and he smitten him. For Hadadazar had wars with Toi, and Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold, vessels of brass, which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord.
And that's another thing. King David, when he did take some spoils, he would desecrate it, and he would consecrate it to the Lord, man. These riches, I'm gonna put these, I'm gonna store these up. I'm gonna put this in the temple.
And that's why those damn Hamites, the Babylonians, they ransacked our temple and took all that gold out of there and took it to Nineveh. I don't know where they took it. They took it out of our temple in Jerusalem. Which also King David did dedicate unto the Lord with silver, gold, and he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued, of Syria, of Moab, and the children of Ammon, and of the Philistines, and of Amalek, and the spoil.
Amalek, right? Amalek always gets singled out because he's an Edomite, but notice that Amalek always is separate from Esau, even though Amalek is a Edomite. He has a special hatred for you, Amalek. And that shows, man. Go ahead,
And of the spoil of Hadadazar, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. And King David got him a name where he returned smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. He put garrisons in Edom throughout.
So if you put garrisons in Edom, that means what? He went up in there and he waged war and he slaughtered their asses, man. All right. He went in there with the sword, with the buckler, with the shield, and he got busy on their ass, man. Okay. He showed them that lion-like strength, that ultimate Judite strength. All right. That same strength that you devils are terrified of, man. Saying a so-called equal skill with strength. Okay, relentless on your ass.
You see these Edomites, these spectral appetites in the land, no way in hell they came from the seed of David. No, they don't got no warrior-like spirit like that, man.
Hey, King David was physical. He was calculated mentally as well, but he hasn't got physical. Most out now, they just go physical. The other type devils, they're all diabolical.
And David reigned over all Israel. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom, he put the garrison. And for all they of Edom became David's servants, and the Lord served David whatsoever he went.
But I thought we got something on board. You hear me? If that's what happened, he snatched their women and put garrisons in their land.
Let's make it noticeable. That was put around the center. Oh, it's way up there. That's what I'm saying. Way up there. Hey, King David was persecuted for this. He didn't do nothing wrong here. Listen what he did as far as the women was dealing with Bathsheba particularly. Those type of things that he got in his place.
Verse 15. And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. And Joab, the son of Uriah, was over the host, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahalud, was reporter. And Zodek, the son of Arintub, and Amalek, the son of Abathar, were the priests, and the Sariah.
If you notice, right, I just want to say there was always a scribe, there was a reporter, and there was always a priest that was with the war. All these people went to war to get the word of the Lord, to know that he was with you to give you instructions on how to do it. So the priest is part of the army. Okay? So they go hand in hand. So when he's subduing all these other nations and all these lands, the Most High is with him because he sent the priest with him on purpose to tell them how to subdue the land. So they can follow the Lord Yahweh for instruction and for the power to take down these nations.
I mean, the priest didn't actually go
No, they didn't fight. I'm saying they went out.
Everybody had a position.
Cook and the American army the same way.
You got people that go to war, they don't never touch a gun.
No, they're not there for that. They're there to bandage up people. They get trained in that stuff sometimes. Not to say that all do it. But I'm talking about the modern system.
During those times, those were men. Even the priest, the reporter, he wasn't just running up on them.
No.
You know, it wasn't just like no scrawny little Jake. No. We was a nation. We wasn't like for regular Jake's around, running over here now. We was
I got that from my group. 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 7. In the time that David dwelt in the country of the Philistines was a full year and 4 months. And David and his men went up and invaded the Gershonites and the Gerzerites still, and the Amalekites, for those nations were of old inhabitants of the land. As thou goest to Shur, even into the land of Egypt. And David smote the land and left neither man nor woman alive, and took away the sheep and the oxen and the asses and the camels and the apparel, and returned and came to Achish. Just kind of showing you that he's smart. That was the land. And I found out you got the point about all the Amalekites and all the Edomites were the people. Nobody could dwell in one direct area. He was supposed to, but he was supposed to be
That's why they're trying to jump on each and every kind of culture they can throughout time. They were, the Egyptians, they were Greeks, the Romans, all these, they're trying to jump on anything they can except Edomites.
Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh in taxes the influence against the stone.
Is that hateful? Is that hateful enough for you? Did he just quote hate speech? That's scripture. Okay, and Esau and the Edomites, the reason why they're associated with the daughter of Babylon is because you're the rulers of Babylon. Okay, and not only that, but you also inherit the ancient characteristics of the ancient Babylonian empire. You read in Daniel, I believe it's the 4th or 5th chapter, know, he talks about how lofty and lifted up Nebuchadnezzar was. You know? Just like how Esau was lifted up in his pride. You know? And it talks about how he's what? He's the lion. He was weak. You know? Yeah. Esau is known as the eagle. You know? Okay? So yes, you are basically what it says, the daughter of the personification, you know, of that empire. Okay? And what does Babylon mean? It's a law which means confusion. And you being the head ruler of the society, everything is in major confusion under you. Because it tells you in the Apocrypha, as is the ruler, so are the people. So you're so confused in the earth, so everybody's confused according to your vibration. Alright? You thinking that it's cool for a man to get a sex change to become a woman, or a woman to get the circumcision to become a man. And then now people get that programmed into the day, and that's actually normal now. That's cool.
Anything contrary to that,
It's just going on.
yeah, it's a problem. It's wrong.
Or illegal. Have sexual relations.
And everything that we're saying is in our law. All right, it's not like we just, we're not paying on being, this is the words of the Most High. You know? But everything that the Most High is with, the so-called white man Esau is against.
Oh, another way you know that the daughter of Babylon is evil. Ancient Babylon, you go back to the time of Nimrod. You go back to the time of Nimrod. Nimrod was what? He was a hunter. He was a mighty hunter. Esau, what was he?
Cunning
He was a cunning hunter. Now during the Tower of Babel, when they came up under Nimrod, what was the council? And everybody become as one. They came together to build an enterprise to go against Heavenly Father. Who's leading the charge right now for all nations to come together under his one world government and religion to come against the Heavenly Father and his place? Edom, Esau. Alright? You gotta put it together, man.
But there's no new thing under the sun. Esau is basically being recycled with Nimrod that's there.
I got a picture real quick. This first Maccabees chapter 1 and 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people and everyone should lead his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king.
And you see how we got to Nimrod, right? But basically they really took on that. But Esau keeps trying to push that one world government under him as Timothy. He keeps that in his mind. But the Most High scattered everybody back in Genesis when Nimrod tried it. But he didn't really try to do the whole world like that. Esau still trying to get the whole world order. This is a supplication versus the now that Esau been trying to do.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
That's what this society is all about. It's all about basically breaking the Heavenly Father's commandments. You know, you got to consult to his religion. You got to, like Trump, if you try to put that Bible back in there and try to resurface this Christianity, hey, we living in another, we're living at the end of an age right now.
Hey, that's when you're going to get assassinated. You let that Bible come out like that, people going to hate you.
Because then, people going to ask questions.
Yeah.
With the YouTube, well, excuse me, teacher, well, right here it says that Edom there's no repentance for Esau. There's no, it's going to be too many questions.
One of them, when Christmas comes, one of the asked the teacher, I don't understand. Can you turn to the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter for me? I just want to clarify some things. If you could get the understanding of that teacher, you know, what the teacher means,
You have more music? I got the classic scripture. Psalm 83. And I'm going to be from the top because it's just good from the top. It says, keep not thou silence, O power of Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies have made a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They consulted against thy hidden ones, and have said, let us cut them off in a nation, that the name of Israel be no more remembrance.
That's the people.
Yep.
That the real Israelites, that they don't remember, that they're the Israelites. They cut us off from being a people. All right? They did what they did, during the captivity, slavery. Okay? The UN, with the help of the Rothschilds, the British Army, they declared the Balfour Declaration, and they brought in the Costers and made the world believe that those were the real Jews. And then Ishmaelites that were over there, they knew that they wasn't the real Jews. That's why they were waging constant wars with each other over there. But those same Ishmaelites, they didn't come out and try to tell us, hey, no, y'all the real Jews. Y'all supposed to be.
They don't trying to restore us either. They want the land
They
for
wanted the
themselves.
land for themselves. They went around and did the same thing Esau did when he went around colonizing with Christianity. Ishmaelites was doing the same thing with Islam. That's why a lot of northern Africa, different parts of that region, is Islam.
And
A lot of those Hamites, they're Muslims because they was getting fucked up by those Arabs.
And those
The Arab invasions, what they call it in history.
those Ishmaelites that were, conquering the northern Africa and different parts, they were all set up by the Catholic Church to get the Holy Land. But when it was time to turn the Holy Land back over to them after they conquered it, the Ishmaelites said, "Fuck you, we gonna stay here." And then eventually Esau got that land through, like the brother just said, the Balfour Declaration.
Because you got to remember, there were times where if you had our possession, which our land is part of our possession, if you had our possession, the Lord would jack you up.
Oh yeah,
Howard would jack you up for that.
like having the Ark of the Covenant.
You have an Ark of the Covenant in your land, he jack you up. So a lot of other nations were scared to go in that land. Edom bold ass and said, no, we're going to go in there and beat him.
But you know what? They couldn't just go in there.
Right.
They had to learn our ways. Because how did they become Jewish? Because they had to convert into Judaism. That happened what? The 8th century AD? Kagan Bullet. They got converted. They had to be taught in the way of the law. Because the Khazars, the Ashkenazis, which you even have Edomites admitting that those Ashkenazis, they're not the real people. They're fakes, man.
That Edomite Henry Ford did. He wrote a book, or had someone write a book into the history of those Edomites, and he Edomite his damn self.
And them devils, they try to use that to say, well, no, they're not actually Jewish. They're Japhets. They're from Japhet. No, they occupied a land. They was dwelling in the land where Japhet originally occupied. The real people of Yowan or Javan, they've been out of that land.
Yeah, you scattered them out into Polynesian islands.
Edomites, y'all pushed them out of there, man. Okay? But hey, it's nothing new under the sun, because even going back to that time when the Hasmoneans, the Maccabees brothers, the last of that dynasty, you had John Hyrcanus, who actually converted Idumeans, and that's how they ended up learning our ways. That's why they know, Hebrew. That's why they know certain practices and customs of the law, because they had to get converted. Okay. And it was so imagine over the course of time them practicing our customs.
Yeah, they got some.
So now the world thinks, oh shit, maybe they acting like Jews.
Nobody else is doing it. We're not doing it.
We just carried all the limitations. They learned their works.
They started to bring on like customs like those those Shirley Temple curls and those top hats and shit like that. That's not our custom, those damn yarmulkes.
So they added all.
They added that, yes. They try to add that in, put that into, like that was a custom of the people.
The little curls, and the little curls in that had hat. That's like our people with the curls, like Solomon had curls like the Afro, man.
We got locks.
We got locks.
We got locks.
And also they wore the dark clothing so they can fit the Judah porter. They're black on the ground. So that fits. But it don't fit them. So when you go into they are black, the dark skin. That's dark skin. Let me back this up. It says verse 5. For they have consulted together with consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Jebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, with Amalek separate, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with him. They have hopen the children of Lot, Salah.
Those are our enemies.
Yeah.
All right, those are all our enemies, man. Hey, and those same nations that was listed were the same nations that King David was going to subdue.
So Salah, that was supposed to be the 82, verse 8, Psalm 82 and 8. It says, "Arise, O power, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations."
What is Daniel, the second chapter, he said in here, second chapter, we're not going to just, we know these nations are not just going to say, okay, you know, we fucked up, you are the people, here's the kingdom.
Yeah, we're not going to write a Yasharala declaration.
Yeah.
No, we got to go take it from you. You ain't going to give it up. You going to look, no, it's in right here. It says we get it. So we got to take it from you.
Jake stupid ass tripping on that trip back to Africa for a year. Supposed to return back to Ghana, like that's we gonna take the kingdom by going back to Ghana.
All them Jakes that want to do that, they don't want to take it. They don't even want to.
Esau setting up these Hamites to come out and apologize, and we're sorry for what we did to your people. Forgive us. It's too late now. It's too late to apologize. What's done is done. You know. So therefore, consequences are going to have to take place. And Ghana ain't our homeland anyway.
We were just like we were sojourners in Egypt. We were sojourners in Nigeria. We were sojourners in Sierra Leone. Okay, the whole coast. Okay, all the whole western region of Africa. We were sojourners there. That didn't make us natural inhabitants, man. That don't mean that our nationality is based off of that landmass just because we sojourned there for a long period of time.
People migrate.
We migrated. We left what? We left from our holy land running from persecution. So we didn't just run into Africa. We ran into Europe. That's why there's a lot of Jakes, a lot of Moors that ruled up in Europe.
They scattered all. They fled into in parts of Asia also. Parts of Russia,
Germany,
Scattered all down there.
Ivan the Terrible. Where was he from? He was a so-called Black Russian.
How you think those goons over there got martial arts?
Yeah.
Jake.
Samurai. Ninjas.
They say that you gotta have a Negro blood to be a samurai.
Say what?
Japanese
Samurai.
Japanese farmer gotta have a little drop of blood. Negro blood
So that means that we were all over, and we wasn't just in the land Africa. Even the Lord, he said it before
you know, because these niggas like, you know, black-only Israelites, no. The Northern Kingdom is scattered vastly amongst the nations also.
They don't, Jake, they check it out doing research.
You don't think World War II and it was Northern Kingdom in American Army that was going over to these different parts of the world and staying there, dropping their seed off?
Oh, let's take it further.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Let's go to the transatlantic slave trade.
Yep.
You had Edomites, the settlers that came, and once they waged war against these native tribes over here, they was putting them on ships and sending them back to the old world.
Hey, it's no different than the trucking business, bro. They don't send a truck or a ship back empty. That's a waste of gas and money and time. So when you drop something off, some cargo
they call that a ferry. They're not sending no ferry ship just to go back to.
Even if they do, some people going back to the other side of where that ferry came from. They ain't going back empty. They gonna wait till you get on board. But when they would bring the cargo, drop it off to America or whatever, I don't know drop it off at, they fill it back up and take it somewhere else.
Con,
And they had a whole route, like a bus route down there doing that.
Con, I believe the first recorded ever transport of our people was the Northern Kingdom, and it was 600 of them.
It's a lot.
Con,
Picking up Edomites, Taínos, those ships and sending them over there. And then there was also some of those the English. It was when they would go back over to Spain and Portugal. They was bringing Jews and Gadites, Judites and Gadites back over there to the land.
A lot of the
over to Europe.
I know y'all the story of the Thanksgiving story with Squanto was that Gadite, he was put into slavery and brought over to London, England. And then he bought his freedom and eventually came back. So don't act like he was just the only one that went over there.
He was just the one that got his story.
Exactly. He's just the one that got his story written. That was the basically he was the bridge between the Edomite settlers, so-called pilgrims, and the Gadites, man.
And the same thing with the whole Pocahontas thing. She was an advertisement. He brought her over there. And her name wasn't Pocahontas, but I forgot what it really was. But she went over there as an advertisement. Like, look, you had
more of these.
Yeah, come get some one. Look at this. You know what I mean? First right there, I'm athletic.
To a little country.
Yeah. Wore her out. She didn't live long though. They wore her out.
She like the first nigga. No, I'm saying first nigga one, but you know, because I always see the accounts where them Gadites supposed to tear John Smith's ass up, and she's trying to save him. You know?
I got a scripture. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 27. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you." That was part of the curse, man.
Deuteronomy 30.
No, that was 4.
Deuteronomy 4.
4:27. And then, of course, Deuteronomy 28, 64. All right, Deuteronomy 29 and 29. Okay? We all scattered all over the place, man.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, of Yahweh the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua, grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
And that was to the diaspora of Judah, you know, in those different lands, man. You know, some of those lands were Asian lands. Okay? You even had Jews that were down in Africa, like Cyrene, that's Libya. Okay, that was coming out for the feast. Okay, we were all over the place, man. And that was just Judah, the kingdom of Judah, man. What about the other tribes, man?
But you know, it was in the New Testament. There was still some northern kingdom that was still in.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, because I forgot where I was reading.
Anna,
she was Asherite?
Prophetess of Asher.
Yeah, kind of. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, she was Asherite. So that's not. So don't get it twisted. It wasn't just Benjamin, Judah, and Levi still over the land.
They weren't taking a census
Yeah.
to make sure. No, hold on. We got 2 that ran. Let's go find them before we take the boat off.
That's why when James said to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, you still had people of each tribe, even the northern kingdom, out still on that side of the world.
Yeah.
Not all of the northern kingdom came over here.
Don't think it was some Judites that was along with the northern kingdom. To say you had a family and
Married into that
married into that tribe. It's like, okay, we're going to a new land where we're going to the land of Asher, so to keep our commandments. Well, I'm gonna go with them. You know,
and it's easy to think about it because they all had to come up to Jerusalem for certain feasts anyway. So whether you were from the city of David or not, if you live up in Extra, you just gotta make sure you come up to keep the feast. You ain't gotta stay there. You don't have to. You know, it's just a custom that you kept. But it was all right for you as well if you was a man of Judah that was in the land of Asher or wherever else. You wasn't tripping as long as you keeping the laws right up in here. Nobody tripping. So you leaving with the Asherites into, hey, you think they didn't go into Assyria under that captivity? Well, they weren't the only ones. It was just as that entire tribe and that kingdom of the north and the south, they went under those Babylon and Assyria.
I got Acts 2, and I'm gonna start at Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation, I'll tell you right there. That they were scared, they were scattered and looked like the other nations. At some point in their life, they were mingling in with the other nations.
And there was through various captivities.
Yep.
We were scattered even during the days of the Babylonian captivity. You know, you had the north that was brought up into the Assyrian captivity, and then a lot of them escaped, and then some of them were, once they got brought down, Jake was constantly migrating, man. Okay, same thing under the Babylonian captivity. Judah was brought captive up into the land of Babylon. All right, you had Jakes in Nineveh, you had Jakes in Media, you had Jakes all over those regions. Go ahead.
And now when the noise was abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born?
Still some Israelites that was part of the country where the northern kingdom was supposed to be at. They were already gone off to the other part of the world. But there was still some scattered up there. Mingled in with the heathen that was trying to mingle themselves with. So when they thinking like, they gotta be Galileans because they clearly acting like Israelites, but they don't necessarily look like Jews.
Yeah, if there was, usually when we were living amongst the nations, we stopped practicing our own doing what they're doing. So you don't think Jake would forget about the law where it says, thou shalt not give your sons unto their daughters and your daughters unto their sons. Jake was just like today in America. Jake gets with the Edomite or the heathen women. All right, and our women get with the heathen men, and they be procreate. Yeah. But when Jake had children with heathen women, the babies come out looking like the other nations. All it takes is one generation to change their genetic makeup. What they look like. The features.
And two, they go right what you're putting that gene for. What you look like.
But it doesn't change the seed.
Right, the spiritual seed skills.
All right, but we ain't saying that to say that every scattered Israelite was a confusion of face.
Right.
That's not the point. But you're gonna have some of them, once they were brought into another culture around other people, they're gonna be integrated, man.
All these possibilities, it happen.
Yeah. It really plays. That's just how life happens.
It's life.
It happens today. It's nothing new under the sun. It was happening back then. Okay, so you had little Blake Griffin, you know.
I don't know his son's name.
Yeah, man. You know.
Kyle or some shit.
Verse 9, Parthians and Medes and Elamites.
And not only that, but they were speaking those foreign languages.
Yeah.
Okay. They were speaking those other languages. They were learning under their philosophies. You know, something like when you go into the book in Acts 6, it was at 17th chapter. Jake was philosopher. They was going into all type of other shit. Man. It wasn't the same thing that you learn up under the law. You know,
They just wanted to, some of them just wanted to hear something new. Epicureans, and about their flesh.
Stoics, yeah. Epicureans, yeah.
Up on Mars Hill, area.
Dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia, Pamphylia in Egypt and in parts of Libya and Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
And he named everybody in that whole Mediterranean region around there was devout Jews speaking under every scattered among every nation. You know, name the whole region.
Gradius,
Those are the ones that can make it back to Jerusalem for the feast. Those in range to make it back. Yeah, look up for the feast.
in parts of Libya, Cyrene, strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Crates and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongue and wonderful works of the Most High. And they were amazed and they were in doubt, saying one to another, what meaneth this? Others mocking said, these men are full of new wine.
Yeah. These dudes, what them dudes on? How they know how to speak all these different languages? You know?
What did it say? Elder McCall Anab say? He said, the spirit that doesn't get on you, it's in you.
It's it, yeah.
Right? And so you can't ask about how to get it on. You can't ask about how to get it on. You got to be in you. So
Like that sorcerer that tried to buy the Holy Spirit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's, you can't buy the Spirit, man. The Spirit of the Lord has to give you the Spirit. He puts it in you. It don't just come on you, and you can just be like, let me get a slab of Spirit.
Let me get 2 portions of the Spirit today.
Yeah, let me get a little portion of that Spirit. Give you some shekels, give you 50 shekels, give you some Spirit. Nah, man. It don't work that way, man, because the Spirit belongs to the Father. All right? And He's not going to give that which is holy unto the dogs.
Right.
So you heathens, you can't even get the Holy Spirit.
Right.
You'll never be able to get the Holy Spirit.
If you get the Holy Spirit, which is opening your
More
mind,
likely because you're an Israelite. Like the Confusion of Faith brothers that's in the camps, they got the Holy Spirit because they're Israelites.
Right.
Okay? Yep.
Let me read it real quick.
It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 verse 4. For to a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Esther chapter 8 verse 9. Then were the king's scribe called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month of Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants and the deputies and rulers of province, which are from India unto Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing and according to their language.
Damn. That's a lot of provinces, man.
Yeah.
That was a vast region for an empire. Okay, from India to Ethiopia. That's a lot of landmass to have total jurisdiction over. All right, but hey, when an empire went down, that vast land that vast majority of land, the next rulers would basically take over that same amount of land that you had rule over, man. Like when the Greeks took over,
Exactly.
it didn't. the Persians, yeah, they stopped being
the rulers.
the rulers.
Right,
But
right.
that same from India all the way to Ethiopia, that was just now the Greeks got it.
That's us now.
And then the Romans took that. You know? Yeah, but you had at that time, you still have the ability to be able to migrate. That's why a lot of jakes were scattered, man. You know? That was it. It was if somebody could get Isaiah 41. No. Isaiah 61 and 9. Because hey, everywhere in the planet, the Lord's he's gonna make it to where all the real Israelites, whether you're confused in the face or not, it's gonna be acknowledged that you are an Israelite. Right? And all the places where the Lord put us to shame, we're gonna get fame, man.
As Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Bethel.
That's where we were at, scattered in these places.
And from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an answer for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Elam. Which is the East Indians.
And he shall
Hey,
set
it's showing you what? Like I just mentioned, because it said what? From India to Ethiopia, when the Persians were ruling, Jake was still maneuvering.
Hey.
So there was Israelites all over those provinces.
We're talking about Elam, the comedian Russell Peters. Is that a Jake? It's a Jake, man. That's a Jake.
I've been on the fence about it.
Right.
I've been on the fence about it.
But he know that, but I mean,
It's a possibility. I won't rule him out, but there were certain things about him I'll be
an
like,
example of Elamite possibly.
he'll make you laugh. He'll got some jokes.
I ain't seen Elam ever be that funny. That's why I felt confident in saying it.
You gonna have Jakes up under them too.
Yep.
You got
And his name is Russell Peters. It ain't Ganganoosh, you know, whatever that name.
what was the name of those Jakes got scattered amongst them? I think they call them
The
untouchables.
Kind.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the untouchables, man. Yeah. And well, if you ever seen like images of the untouchables, man, they look like straight up curry niggas. They some straight up curry niggas, man. They got the woolly texture hair and all that, man. You know, but they've been mingled among those Elamites, so they have that look. You know.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Yep. Set up the what?
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So we only in certain places. They wouldn't have to gather from the four corners of the earth.
You know what? This how the Lord's going to actually assemble out of all these nations. That's a kind on that plea doctrine. All you niggas that's teaching that free American doctrine, what happened to the Lord assembling us? The Lord's going to do that, not us, not on our own accord.
Was that Isaiah 14?
He says he's going to place us in the land.
He's going to do that, man. Yahweh Shai, he's going to come with the angels, and he said that he's going to gather the elect from the four winds. What is that talking about, man? All the Israelites are going to be scattered all across the globe. Yahweh Shai, the ones that's of the elect, they're going to get beaten up, man. All right, it's going to be an abduction nation all over the earth.
It's Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Those strangers are the outcasts. Okay? The strangers are basically the guard. Not the guard, but the guard. Wherever we were brought captive, we're sojourning in a strange land. Whether it be in the Philippines, whether it be in Thailand, all right, whether it be in China, Tokyo, okay, up there in Russia, in all throughout Europe, Africa, all the different lands in Africa, even South Africa, the Middle East,
Polynesian Islands.
yeah.
Yeah, we're all over, man. We're doing basketball, man. We're up everywhere.
So they came really processing it because they think that every Israelite is gonna come from all over the world, like the States.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal.
yeah.
I got
Samuel Jackson.
I got one. And what we're talking about is good news. And funny, everything that we're talking about is God.
You had niggas talking about, oh, y'all let heathens into the camp. Y'all let Turkish people in the camp. Romanians into the camp. Sicilians into the camp. Simple ass people. You're very low. Like General Yamada said years ago, small in the Bible. Small, man. You have no understanding, and you're carnal as hell.
Connie, them same dudes don't got no works.
Hell no, they never got no works to show.
Hey, that's funny. I just broke that down to my kids the last night of this, I think it was this month. I was breaking down. And I'm gonna have to start separating yourselves from some of these rules you got.
Yeah.
That's about that time now, but according to the spirit of that person, y'all had them to break down what they understood about it, and they understood. The ones that had that light, I said, even if they look like us, if they don't have that righteous type of spirit like you have on you, hey, you don't really want to deal with them. They don't have a good natured spirit about them. You don't really deal with them. But if they do, it don't matter what they look like. Okay, I don't mean just because they're nice. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, they never have an argument because they'll talk about the confusion of face stuff, brother. The people that look like the other nations that's down with us. But then they'll never talk about the tares. How do you know that certain niggas that you might be cool with ain't no tares? And they spirit is a little funny. You might even have those feelings about that. But you don't see them like you just that's the big though. Because you keep dark and you look like me. Niggas are y'all small up.
It's not about see a man's spirit, and it's spirit like the scriptures say. Romans spirit bear is what the spirit of our spirit. What the children of Israel.
And it goes at 6 Corinthians 10 to 7. Anyway, like Yahweh Shai said, and no man comes to walk with me except the Father draw him. So he that has the Father in control comes to me. The one that's going to draw to me is here. So if there is a brother that looks like he is, that's being drawn in.
Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7.
You look on the things after the outward appearance, and that's how you judge on the outward appearance, man.
And this is a talk. This is the gospel. I mean, this is Romans the 11th chapter. This is big. Big part of our people. That's the good that they don't know that they're Israelites, but they get to be Israelites again. They thought they was Hebrew like everybody else.
If any man trust to himself that he is Hamashiach, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Hamashiach, even so are we Hamashiachs. For though I should boast somewhat more of our authority, which the Lord hath given us for edification and not for your destruction, I should not be ashamed, that I may have seen as if some I would terrify you by letters.
Because Paul is hey, I thought I was meditating on it, not always, but I would meditate on Paul's position. Our position was heavy. We had to go out and represent the confusion of faith. I was going to say, oh, the Israelites that look like heathen, but hey, he's one of us. But it took him being a Pharisee himself to be respected by the other people, by the known Jews, the ones that they knew they were Jews. That's what made it so dope, because he was in that position before. He's like, whoa, what's up, man? Why you got these heathen? They're like, nah, it's the Israel.
Yeah, that's why when you go into there's found out he was bringing so-called what they call heathens in the temple. You know, they basically became envious. They were moved to jealousy, which that was prophecy going back to them. I was promoting people that is that was what those people, man, they just fell away. They fell away from the custom, the law. They were being like the heathen, man. They was ready to basically throw away the rest of the tribes and the nation. Basically, if you ain't in Judea, keeping the Sabbath and keeping these high holy days and wearing your beard and wearing your fringes, then you just not an Israelite, and you know we ain't gonna acknowledge you as an Israelite. That was just how that was what it back then, man. And the Lord had to basically set them straight. That's how they did, you know.
I'll bring it up.
And it wasn't just confusion of faces; it was Israelites that obviously he looked like an Israelite, but his customs was of the heathen.
Hey, but there was a lot more dark-skinned people in the world too, though.
This is Galatians chapter 2, verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from James, we did eat with the Gentiles. But when there come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
Paul was tripping. Peter was tripping.
And the Jews disassembled themselves likewise with him.
He feared backlash from the Jews. Because you know the Jews would have been on his head like, wait, you eat with them?
Like black conscience.
Just like how they do us when they see a brother that look like a Edomite. You know, y'all let Edomites make them. Same old thing. Same old thing. Okay, we deal with the same shit. Yeah, we eat with them. Yeah. What else? Okay.
The northern and the southern kingdom have that issue a little bit too. I'll deal with that a little bit.
Oh yeah. They don't want to acknowledge the northern, you know, the Hispanics and natives as the tribes, man. All that's gonna get dipped in the blood, man. Through the word, through the truth, man.
The spirit,